Hello and welcome. My name is Emily, and today I will be sharing a series with you that is just a great slow warm up to the day. Nothing stressful, nothing straining, just a nice overall stretch. So if you will meet me at the mat, whether you like to keep a cushion underneath you, I sometimes just prefer a block underneath my sits bones, just to feel a little elevation in the hips. Just getting centered, connecting with your body, listening. Noticing if there's any areas that we might want to focus on today. Just allowing space to drop in and connect with yourself. So we're going to slowly start by doing some spinal flexions. So we're going to bring our hands down to your ankles, or if your legs are out in front of you, you can just place your hands above your knees. We're going to inhale, opening up the front of the chest, bringing the sternum forward, and then exhale, rolling through. So we're starting to move the spine forward and back. And as you get into it, you can incorporate the arms. And coming back to center, we're going to drop our right hand down to the mat and our left hand up toward the ceiling. We're going to bring the left hand over the top of the right, bending the right elbow as needed, making sure that our left hip is still making contact with the mat. And we should feel a nice side stretch. Maybe all the way down into the hip. Maybe it's just up into the rib cage. But taking a nice big inhale and exhale here. And on the next exhale, we're going to come back to center, lower the left hand, letting that hand drop down to the mat, right hand up toward the ceiling, and feeling this opposition so that we feel like we're almost reaching toward the ceiling. And then we're going to tip over the top, allowing that left elbow to bend. Right hip is still staying on the mat or the block, whichever you may be using. And allowing that side waist to open up. And on the next exhale, we're going to come back up to center and we're going to do one more round. So right hand down, left hand up, reaching for the sky and tipping over to the right side. Maybe trying to pull that elbow back a little bit over our head. Coming back up to center. Left hand down, right hand up. Allowing that elbow to fall back a little bit. So we're almost getting a bit of a chest opening here. And coming back to center, placing both hands on our thighs again. We're going to connect the dots. So we're going to start making this circular revolution. So we opened up the spine forward and backwards and then side to side. So now we're going to complete the cycle. So we're going to inhale, bring the chest forward, and then through our exhale, rolling around. And reversing the direction. If you were sitting on a block or a cushion, you are free to take that out now. And we are going to bring our legs out in front of us. Bringing them, the heels about a hip width apart. And we can bring our hands to rest on the ground behind us. We're going to bring the soles of our feet up and we're going to glide our feet back and forth. Slowly opening up the hamstrings and the legs. So we're getting some ankle flexion in here, moving the knees and the hips. Using this motion as the lotion for our joints. And from here, we're going to pick our feet up and bring the soles of our feet probably about 2 hip widths. Not really any specific distance, but we're going to start rocking the knees to the left and the right. So again, we've opened up the channels of the front and the back of the legs, and now we're including the sides. Allowing those hips to open and close. You're going to slowly glide down the glutes. So we're kind of activating and warming the glute muscles and the low back up as well. And from here, let's come back up to seated and let's come into our traditional butterfly. Soles of the feet together, bringing them together comfortably wherever they may find you. If they are out in front of you, that's perfectly fine. We're going to grab the ankles. We're going to kind of pull our chest a little forward, trying to have a nice straight spine. And letting the arms do the work. We're going to kind of bring that in and out. Allowing that just to go with your breath. So we should feel an opening on the inner thighs, maybe even a little flexion and rotation in the hips. And maybe taking it a little further down if you feel called to. From here, if you would like to sit cross-legged or if you are able to be in half lotus, bringing the foot on top of the other shin. We're just going to do a little bit of twisting. And if your low back or neck do not feel comfortable here, just hold this space and continue breathing. We're just going to take our right hand up, and then we're going to place it on our left knee and just twisting slightly. Allowing your breath to stretch a little further into this position. If you would like to take the left hand behind you and add a little bit more of a rotation, feel free to go to your comfort level. And really expanding the belly and then compressing it on the exhale. On the exhale, releasing it, coming back to neutral. And now we're going to raise the left hand up so that we have this nice elongation in the spine. And then we're going to twist and bring the left hand to the right knee. Taking a few breaths here halfway. And then if you would like, using the right hand to pull yourself into the twist a little bit more. And then on the next exhale, releasing and coming back to center. And just feeling the length of your spine. Just witnessing how that feels. We're going to come into our tabletop position. So ideally we want a little bit of a space between. So our knees should be directly below our hips, our palms directly below our shoulder joints. We should feel nice and neutral here, almost that the weight is evenly balanced between our wrist and our knees. And we're going to come into a cat-cow. So on the inhale, we're going to drop the belly. The hips rotate toward the spine or toward the ceiling. And our head tips up. So we're opening our chin. And then in the exhale, we're going to tuck that chin into the chest. And we're going to roll through, bringing almost as if we're trying to look at our belly button. Maybe you only get as far as looking at your mid-thigh. And that's okay. We're just trying to get some movement and some circulation into the spinal column, add a little flexibility into the rib cage. Inhaling, looking up. Exhaling, tucking in. Maybe you start to notice that your elbows are rotating in and out with the movements. Maybe you're noticing and you can kind of push through the palms a little bit as we tuck inward and we feel the back of the rib cage expand. And coming back to neutral. So depending on what time of the day you are doing this practice, if you have not eaten yet, you can bring your knees all the way together and we can come into a child's pose where we're compressing the abdominal waist. If you have eaten today or your belly is just not feeling well, we can keep the tips of the toes, the big toes together and bring the knees out to the edge of the mat. And then we sink back into a child's pose so that we make room. So if you're pregnant, maybe you have any stomach discomfort, we want to give space to that and we don't want to add to the compression. But we want to come and rest into child's pose. Before we get this last full body movement together. Your arms can be up over your head, or if you'd like to rest them, you are welcome to bring the hands down next to your feet. I always have a pillow or a bolster handy so that if we don't feel that our back can hold that long of a stretch, because we're stretching the entire fascia length along the spine. You feel free to take a block and place it on the heels underneath the hips so that we allow some space, and a pillow underneath your head. As we sink and settle into this pose, we want to feel the stretch of the spine. We want to support our neck. But definitely listen to your body and go where your body leads you. Now that we have stretched and rested the spine a little bit, we're going to come up into a kneeling position, bringing our hands over our head. So we're going to inhale, swinging the arms out at its side as if we're gathering energy, bringing our fingertips to touch. And if you can, look up. And then exhaling, coming back down into that child's pose. Feel free to take a cycle of breath down in child's pose. And then on the next inhale, coming back, fingers tip touch overhead. And you can take a cycle of breath here as well. We don't want to move too fast, especially if we have any blood pressure issues, any head or neck injuries. We want to take it slow. And then you can speed up as you feel comfortable if you need to take a little space between the knees to give you a more stable base. Feel free to adjust how you see fit for your body today. Some days we may be able to do more or even a faster pace than others. I say that if you feel like you are short on time, getting fewer reps in to help slow the body down, slow the heart rate. But if you feel more vigorous and energized, you can definitely go a little bit faster. And from here, rest in child's pose for 2 breath cycles. And then slowly coming up. And then you are ready to go about your day. So I thank you for joining me and have a blessed day.